Let's talk about the velocity banking strategy for when you're paid monthly. This particular client is getting paid on the 20th. And so the very first thing I wanted her to do was check to see if she's going to be charged any fees or lose any discounts if she pays on auto draft with a credit card or if she pays with a credit card at all. And she said, yes, she is going to be charged fees for the utilities. She is going to be charged, she's going to lose her discount for Verizon. Now, the entire total for all those fees and the loss of the discount is $16 to $17, but because her budget is so tight, it may be something that she seriously wants to consider, particularly when you're talking about utilities, because those can vary month to month, and sometimes they can come in a lot higher, particularly in the winter, than you were expecting. So I have outlined for her that she was going to match the Verizon and her utility bills to her Walmart credit card, but she may want to not do that and just pay those as normal. And instead, that means she's going to have to discount what I have outlined for her payment to her Walmart credit card, deducting the Verizon bill and the utility bills from that amount to Walmart, and basically just match that $82.13 insurance bill to her Walmart credit card. When she does that, that $82 and some change bill meets or exceeds the monthly minimum payment that she has on that Walmart. And then she's able to take that Walmart credit card minimum monthly and redirect that, send that money over to her primary card. Okay. So when you are paid monthly, or when you're paid, whether it's monthly, biweekly, or weekly, whatever, you're wanting to pay your credit cards as soon as you get paid. Okay. For the amount of whatever bill you're matching it to, pay them for as soon as you get paid. And that way we're trying to get the goal is to get the longest stretch of time between when you pay the credit card and then when you have to pay the bill with that credit card, so that we can lower the balance, thus lowering the average daily interest and thus lowering our bill overall, as we're directing all of our other money towards our primary card to pay that down as quickly as possible. So when we take a look at her new revised budget plan, she gets paid $4,130 on the 20th. She's going to make a payment of $1,076. And you may be asking, where did that $1,076 come from? Well, that's her variable budget. So she outlined how much she spends for groceries, gas, and miscellaneous, and that's what it came to. So she's going to go ahead and make that payment for the entire month. That's $1,076 for groceries, gas, and miscellaneous. And so she's going to call up the credit card company, because that's not her normal practice. Her normal practice is to pay the monthly minimum of $135. So she needs to give the credit card company a heads up, so they can put a note in her file that she's going to be making larger payments from here on out, so that they do not lower the limit of her credit card, because CitiCard in particular has been known to lower the limit when you make a large payment and you don't give them a heads up. So give them a heads up. That leaves her with $3,054. Now she's going to make her payments on her general purpose credit cards. So that comes to $718.28. She's not matching all of her cards. She's making just the monthly minimums on her Best Buy, because she's going to have that one paid off. And then she's making the monthly minimum, which is really just the balance remaining on her Amazon credit card. So those two were not matching with anything. So her Walmart credit card and her Victoria's Secret credit card are being matched to bills. So that's why I have that amount. And again, if she is not going to match Verizon and the utilities to that Walmart card, she needs to reduce that amount that I've outlined there for her by the amount of the Verizon and the utilities. And then I would just keep the insurance bill on that credit card. Knock that out. So then she's left with $2,335.72. She has her private label credit card. She can go ahead and make those payments in. Remember, you do not have to wait until the due date on the card. You want to get that balance down as low as possible. So if you're getting paid monthly, pay your credit cards as soon as you get paid. If you're getting paid weekly or biweekly, pay those credit cards as soon as you get paid, so that you can reduce that average daily balance. So her private label cards, we're just doing the minimums. We're not sending extra payments to it. It comes to $154 for those minimums. She's left with $2,181.72 in her checking. From there, her checking account, she's going to have to pay her mortgage payment. That's going to bring her down to $1,051.72. And she's going to have to pay her car payment. And I would check and see if you could do that where you're making 2 payments a month instead of 1, just split it in half. Check with whoever you have your loan with, your car loan. And what that does is, with no further money out of your pocket, it reduces a payment each year. So you want to check into that. So that leaves her with $461.72. So this is the money, when I'm saying you're redirecting your money to your primary card, this is the money that's getting redirected. Okay, so it's $461.72. This is a very tight budget. We were able to come up with this number because we made some adjustments, and you can see in the previous videos where we made those adjustments. So if she goes over budget on the variables, that's going to cut into that $461. If her utility bills are more than what she was anticipating, that's going to cut into that $461. So basically, she outlined that she was spending $800 a month in groceries. So I asked her if she could reduce that by $6 a week, because we were trying to get her to a break even is where we were starting at. And so then she said $200 for gas. So that was fine. But this concerns me, you guys, because she said $100 for miscellaneous for the month. That's $25 a week for miscellaneous. And this is a family of 6. So that means she is not anticipating spending more than $25 for anything that's needed for the house, for anything that's needed for the children, for, diapers, for milk, for a trip to CVS to pick up some cold medication. That her budget was $100 for the month. I don't think that's realistic, because the idea is that you are not spending on any other card. When I say what is your budgeted miscellaneous, I mean for everything. You can't go to Home Depot or Lowe's and put $100 on the card because you're getting further into debt. We're trying to get out of debt. So your primary card should be for all of your expenses. That's why it's crucial to know what those numbers are. Check your checking account statements, check your bank statements, your credit card statements, know exactly what you're spending on average for groceries, gas, and all miscellaneous items so that you can account for that on your primary card. So that means with her current budget, she cannot spend more than $35 a day, or she's going to be tapping into the money that's going to be paying down her debt. So if you have any questions, and let me just cover this. If you're asking about what about her bills, remember her bills, we are matching them with the credit cards. So where I have the $718.28, if she's not going to match Verizon, she needs to take it out of there where it says the $718.28. So she would subtract $140, and then she would subtract whatever she has for her utilities. If her utilities go over budget, again, that's coming from the $461.72. If something goes on with her miscellaneous expenses, that's coming out of that $461.72. So it's tight, y'all. It's very, very tight, but it can work as long as she's keeping an eye on her numbers. So you can download the worksheets, particularly the money tracker. The money tracker worksheet is going to be crucial when you have a very tight budget like this. And I will link to the worksheets below in the pinned comments. You can also find it in the description. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any suggestions, please post in the comments and we'll discuss. Thanks.